What about wedding rituals part 1? Hi there, bridal couples to be.
Welcome to How to Get Married in Holland.
The ultimate wedding podcast of and about the Netherlands.
We, wedding ceremony experts, aka celebrants Daphne and Jasperin, share all ins and outs of getting married in our flat and fabulous country.
Enjoy listening.
There's so much you can plan and invent for your wedding ceremony, but rituals are something that comes back every time, and there are all rituals. And in this episode, we're going to talk about more modern rituals, I would say, not the traditional ones. Maybe they have become a bit traditional already over time, but we're specifically going to talk about these new rituals that you can incorporate in your wedding ceremony to give more depth or meaning to wedding ceremony, of course, when that is something that belongs to you, because that is the main thing about weddings. Make it your ceremony. So today is the sand ceremony. What is a sand ceremony, Daphne? Share with our listeners.
Well, it is a bit of an evergreen already, I think.
It is becoming one, yes.
Speaking of rituals. And let's head back a little, because what is a ritual? It's like a meaningful activity.
Yes.
To express your feelings and what this step in your life means to the both of you. Mm-hmm. And the sand ceremony is really a beautiful way to express your connection with each other. And mostly it's chosen by couples who have something with beach, of course.
Yes.
Figures, sand. And especially for beach weddings. Mm-hmm. And I once had a couple who met at the beach. The proposal was on the beach. They lived near the beach.
There you go.
And the wedding ceremony was on the beach. And, they chose to have a sand ceremony within their wedding ceremony. Mm-hmm. So that's maybe a bit confusing because the name is sand ceremony, but it's in fact a ritual within the wedding ceremony.
Exactly.
And that ritual expresses that the both of you are really unique. Your way of life, your experiences, your character, your preferences. But at the end, when you start your marriage, you both start a new unit, really a family unit, because you make your partner a family member. And you each have your own color, you each have your own pattern, really. Mm-hmm. And that is expressed within pouring the sand within one holder, which can be a vase or a bottle, preferably, because you need
transparent,
to see
right?
it.
Transparent. You really want to see,
so you can see the pattern of the sand. Mm-hmm. And this couple, they chose to do so because he wasn't allowed to wear a wedding ring, due to his job for safety reasons. Right. And she didn't like jewelry, and she never wore a ring. Okay. And she chose to spend the money on their honeymoon because she was all about experiences, not things.
Yes.
So, that's why they chose the sand ceremony. And in fact, they had 3 colors. So they poured in, I explained the meaning of the ritual to all of the guests and the family and friends who were witnessing the ceremony. And he poured in his part and she did. So the sand was layered within the bottle.
Right.
But then I also handed a little bottle with a yellow color, which could be, a symbol for anything really, the sun, the warmth of their love, you name it.
Yes.
But it had a meaning of its own. And
so hidden meaning.
a hidden meaning, and they layered the three colors of sand, and it was, well, on the beach, which is surrounded by sounds, of course, but it was perfectly silent amongst the guests. And at one moment, an aunt of the bride yelled out, "Are you expecting?" And she was. And the mother of the bride said, "No, no, no, the yellow is a symbol of their love, of course." But then they announced they were expecting, in fact,
Oh, isn't that nice?
a third member to their family unit,
Right.
which was, well, there was quite of a commotion amongst the guests.
Of course.
But it was a beautiful surprise for everyone. Yeah.
Have
How
you,
about you? Have you ever experienced the scent ceremony?
I've done a few. I haven't done one for a while now, but the first one I did was with two different colors. I think it was pink and purple, really bright colors. Didn't really have a meaning. They just wanted to symbolize the joining of their two lives. I always like the process of how they actually pour in the sand. So you do get the different layers and the patterns. So that was very nice. And of course, with two striking colors, that's very clear. And the second time I did it was also with, it was a Dutch Mexican couple. And I had spoken to, they'd indicated that they would like a sand ceremony. But of course, they didn't have an idea of how to go about it. So I suggested, why don't you leave it up to me, and I'll think of something. So they left it in my hands, and I did have a very clear idea because he was from the province of Zeeland, which is close to the beach. So the beach was important to them, but also they had met at a beach, which is, similar to your story. However, she was from Mexico. So my plan was to actually get sand from her favorite beach, her favorite Mexican beach, to the Netherlands. But I was speaking to her brother because he was contributing to the ceremony as well with a story. So I asked him, I said, "Listen, do you want to please go to the beach and get a little container of sand,
bring it over." Sand.
And it was beautiful because it was like volcanic sand. So it was really dark. And his sand was a lot lighter, so the contrast was really good. And they were so surprised and chuffed, very happy that there were really, that the sand had a meaning, that it wasn't just, sand with a color. No, it was the sand of his favorite beach. It was the sand of her favorite beach where they had met. So that was a beautiful ritual. I do find it, if it suits you, if you're from two different places, if you like the beach, if you like the sand, I think it's a very nice way to confirm your union.
Yeah.
When do you normally do it?
Because it's so meaningful with that particular scent. It's very attentive of you. Yeah. But I also had a scent ceremony within a church. Okay. So there wasn't a beach anywhere nearby, but it was a blended family, a mosaic family.
Yeah.
And they really wanted to incorporate the kids and not so much ask for their blessing, because they said it's our decision. We're the adults here, but we do want to make them feel important and part of it all.
Yes.
And one of their kids was a bit reluctant to it all because, loyalty to their own parents. It's a difficult situation. And they were he was a teen and a bit rebellious. So they thought, well, we don't want to ask him to bring the rings or, more of a traditional role. So they thought, they asked me, what can we do? So I said, well, we can think of a ritual, so they can do something, an active role. And so we came up with the scent ceremony, and they had, in fact, 6 different colors.
Oh, nice.
And it's, I received a picture, a couple of years after their wedding day, and it's still in their living room.
Oh, isn't that nice?
Yeah. having a premium spot
Yes.
for the whole family to remember that beautiful moment.
Daphne, when do you normally incorporate that ritual?
Well, mostly after the official part. So it's part of the moment of union.
Yeah.
But after your personal vows,
Yes.
if you're up to express those, after the wedding questions, after the I do's.
Yeah.
Also after the kiss, I think, because if you time the scent ceremony between your I do's and the kiss, you have to extend the kiss.
Yeah.
And you want to kiss, once you've shared your I do's.
Of course.
So I think it's best as a beautiful conclusion of the moment of union.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think that's the best moment, and then you go on to sign your official documents, but it sort of seals the moment in a different way.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Seal it with sand.
Seal it with sand.
Yes.
Let's speak to you next time about more rituals in a new episode.
Okay. Talk soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to How to Get Married in Holland.
We look forward to share more about organizing your wedding day in the Netherlands in the next episode.
Hit the subscribe button so you won't miss anything.
Any questions in the meantime?
Please ask wedding celebrants Daphne or Jasperin. You can find us, plus the show notes, on Instagram.
And if you love this podcast, please leave a review.
It gives us a higher ranking, so more fun international couples with Dutch wedding plans will be able to find us.
Until next time.